There is, too many political topics that are being discussed, but one very important amongst all the noise that possibly could be a game changer for more than 50% of this country. And that's what we are focusing here on Breaking Views. Ladies and gentlemen, while one nation, one election, the whole debate which has started today around India or Bharat is on, there is another important issue which once again created buzz and trust me, even excitement in, may I say, more than 50% of our country's population. Speculation is rife that the Women Reservation Bill could be introduced in the upcoming session of the Parliament. The bill to reserve 33% of seats in the Lok Sabha and the state assemblies for women has got a fillip after Vice President Jagdeep Dhankhar said on Monday that the day is not far when women will get due representation in countries' legislatures. Now, the Vice President's comment has sparked speculation that the Women Reservation Bill may be moved during the special session of the Parliament from 18 September to 22nd September, the agenda for which is yet to be revealed by the government. I want you to first listen in to what the Vice President said.
वो दिन दूर नहीं है, बल्कि बहुत नजदीक है जब अपने भारत में, इस महान देश में संसद और विधानसभाओं में महिलाओं का उचित प्रतिनिधित्व है, संविधान में बदलाव कर आएगा.
Now remember viewers, the Women Representation Bill or the Constitution 108th Amendment Bill, which proposes 33% reservation for women in Lok Sabha and State Assembly, was passed in March 2010 in Rajya Sabha amid high drama when the UPA government headed by Manmohan Singh was in power. But the 15th Lok Sabha could not pass the bill and it lapsed following its dissolution in 2014. Parties such as Samajwadi Party and the Rashtriya Janata Dal at that point of time had opposed the bill in the current form, demanding a quota within the quota. Now, on Tuesday, Telangana MLC and Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao's daughter K. Kavita also wrote a letter to the president of all 47 political parties with representation in the parliament and urged them to set aside political differences and prioritize the passage of this bill in the upcoming special session.
And with folded hands, I request all the political parties to kindly take up this issue and rise above the political partisanship. Take up this issue because this is one of the easiest bills to be passed. This current government doesn't have a comfortable majority in Rajya Sabha, but Women's Reservation Bill is already passed in Rajya Sabha. So they just have to put it in the Lok Sabha and give the Women's Reservation Bill.
Unfortunately, कुछ राजनीतिक दल उसको समर्थन देते नहीं और खास तौर पर आज जिनकी मेजॉरिटी है, आज जिनके हाथ में हुकूमत है, इन लोगों को इसमें समर्थन कहाँ से है ये बात साफ नहीं हो रही. उन्होंने तय दिखाई तो हम उसको समर्थन देने के लिए पूरी तरह से तैयार हैं. मगर मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी और उनके साथी इस सब्जेक्ट को प्रायोरिटी देंगे नहीं कि 5 दिन का सेशन में ये इशू आएगा नहीं. समझा आ गया तो हमारा समझ.
लेकिन इसमें हमें कोई आपत्ति नहीं. कम से कम कुछ टिप्पणी करने के पहले हमें ये सारे जो विधायक लाए जाएंगे इसकी थोड़ा झांकने का मौका दिया जाना जरूरी. लेकिन 1/3 जो महिला संरक्षण ये मैडम सोनिया गांधी जी की अगुवाई में यूपीए सरकार ने पारित कर चुके हैं, पारित कर दिए थे. शायद इनके अभी ये लगे कि मैडम सोनिया गांधी जी जो काम उनकी अधूरा रहती वो अभी पूरा करने का जरूरत है. ये शायद इन लोग को ये महसूस हो रहे हैं, हो सकता है, पता नहीं सरकार क्या करना चाहते हैं. कथनी और करनी में सरकार की हर वक्त फर्क तो रहते हैं.
So it will be very interesting if this happens and how the political parties and the political fortunes will then, of course, be stacked. But very quickly, taking you back in history on the timeline of how the Women Reservation Bill, in fact, has found resonance as far as the political parties have concerned, and despite that is yet to be passed. Let's very quickly turn our attention to this whole history of the Women Reservation Bill. In 1996, this was the first time when the bill was introduced by the Parliament. This was by the Devi Gowda government. Now, in 1998, the Vajpayee government reintroduced the bill in the Lok Sabha. In 1999, the NDA government again reintroduced the bill in the Lok Sabha. Then in 2002, the bill was reintroduced but failed to sail through as far as the Lok Sabha is concerned. Now, 2003, the bill was introduced twice. In 2008, the UPA government tabled the bill in Rajya Sabha. 2010, the Rajya Sabha passed the bill during the UPA government. As I told you, Manmohan Singh was the Prime Minister at that point of time. The BJP left JDU, supported the bill at that point of time, but it could not pass the scrutiny of the Lok Sabha. The current status is that it needs to be reintroduced in Lok Sabha as the old bill, or it can also be introduced as a new bill by the government of India. But ladies and gentlemen, the question now is, why do we need reservation for women? Just take a look at just some very small data points. According to the Global Gender Gap Report 2022, India ranks 48 out of 146 countries in political empowerment, that is percentage of women in parliament and ministerial positions dimension. We rank 46 out of 48 out of 146 countries. And what you see on your screens right now, in 2019 Lok Sabha election, women voters were equal, in fact, few decimal points more than male voters, which was celebrated as a big milestone as far as our electoral process is concerned. But what was the representation of the women in the current parliament? Take a look. Lok Sabha, 15%, Rajya Sabha, 14%. So for the 50% Abadi, the percentage of their representation is only 15 and 14% in both the house, the lower and the upper house. There have been a lot of arguments both in favor and against the women reservation. Those against the reservation say the reservation should provide for equal quota for Dalit, backward, extremely backward and minority communities, without which it will be meaningless. The other argument against the bill is reserving the seats for women is opposed by some, in fact those who claim that doing so violates the Constitution's guarantee of equality. Now, those in favor have been making the argument that affirmative action is necessary to better the condition of women. Women are still underrepresented in parliament. We have seen that through that data. And that reservation will, in fact, improve that representation. More women in decision-making positions are needed to address high percentage of crimes against women, low participation of women in workforce, and low nutrition levels, and also skewed sex ratios. Now, being a constitutional amendment, the bill will require the support of 2/3 of the members in the Lok Sabha. It was part of the BJP's election manifesto in 2014, and sources say its passage is likely to benefit the party to consolidate the women votes. Remember, all parties would be eyeing this vote, and that's the reason why in March the Congress had also asked the BJP to make it stand clear on the bill and demanded it to be tabled in the Lok Sabha.